morning, Folsom High. It's Thursday, August 17th, and it's time for the news. I'm Cooper.
And I'm Chris. We have some brief announcements coming up, and then a serious look at the dangers of fentanyl.
But first, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Ready?
Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Here's the news. Audition signups are happening now for the fall musical, Siskel. All students planning to audition must sign up on our Google form no later than this Sunday, 8/20 at 5 p.m. The Google form can be accessed by joining their Audition Google Classroom. The code is TYNBJY6. If you did not attend the informational meeting, you may stop by a T101 and pick up the information sheet.
In sports, girls varsity golf players are excused at 1:30 to travel for a match today. Our freshman football team plays away today against Monterey Trail. Freshman footballers are excused at 3:15 today. Tomorrow, JV and varsity football are away at Monterey Trail. Good luck, Bulldogs.
Well, hey, that's the news for today. Tomorrow's Friday. We made it through the first 2 weeks of school. We'll be back tomorrow with more news.
Stay tuned now for a couple of videos about the dangers of fentanyl. Let's make it a great day to be a Bulldog.
Fentanyl is a powerful, synthetic opioid. And by powerful, I mean it's in the same drug class as heroin, but 50 times stronger. And it's 100 times stronger than morphine. It's highly regulated and is really only used for people who are in extreme pain, like patients who are dying. See, fentanyl isn't natural, it's synthetic. It's made in a lab, which is why it's so powerful. And a small amount goes a really long way, making it incredibly cheap to produce and extremely addictive. And all that makes it ideal for creating fake pills, or fentanyls. But because fentanyl is so potent, you have to get the dosage just right. A couple of micrograms can be the difference between life and death, which makes fentanyls extremely dangerous. I mean, they're not made of some highly regulated fentanyl. They're just whipped up in people's basements and garages where the dosage is never even. So taking one is a bit like playing Russian roulette, except there's absolutely no upside. You're either gonna be taking a dud or a pill that'll kill.
After Zach died, I built up some courage to look a little bit into the phone before giving it over to the detective, and I discovered a video.
You ready? Me too.
So it's his handsome, beautiful face, and behind his shoulder, you can see our dog, Jake. Jake loved to sing when Zach played piano. When I found this video, it encapsulated everything beautiful about him. His love of the piano, his incredible talent, his playfulness interacting with Jake, his beautiful smile, just his heart, his talent, his spirit. And I mean, I watch that video all the time when I need to feel him alive. Zach was the kind of child you dream of having.
Hi, Grandpa.
He lit up a room. He was always smiling and always laughing. He was incredibly gifted at the piano, and he started from as soon as he could get on his little tippy toes and reach the keys. Once he started a theater class in high school, he got the bug. He tried out for his first show and was cast in the lead role.
Zach was a talented and recognized multi-sport athlete. He was in track. He started out on the JV team, and then shortly after that accelerated into the varsity team.
He received that season the Coach's Award.
Zach was disciplined. He was a bona fide straight-A student. He was able to enroll in just about all of the AP classes he was allowed to.
His friend group was a lot of really bright kids.
He was very loyal to his friends. Once he brought someone into his friend group, he really went out to help them out any way he can.
He loved people. He loved making people smile. He would often be the one that would try to cheer someone up or make them laugh.
He is a kid who absolutely left a unique fingerprint in the world. He is truly an unrepeatable miracle for us. So it wasn't until Christmas time that there were some subtle signs that showed a little bit of a difference in his behavior.
He just seemed more tired than normal, a little bit irritable. He just explained it as, I stayed up playing video games, you know, it was COVID time, and he just said, Mom, don't worry about me, I'm fine, I'm totally fine. And I said, honey, it's my job to worry about you. I'm your mom.
After Christmas, he hung out with his friends. As a parent of teenagers, my fear is when they're on their own, exploring their new expanded boundaries. So when he came home, I felt a sense of relief, not realizing there was imminent danger in his pocket or in his possession. When I say goodnight to my family, especially my children, I always say, good night, I love you. And Zach, every single time, without fail, always told me, I love you, Dad. Those were his last words to me. The next day, I went to check on Zach because it was later than his normal wake-up time, and he appeared to be asleep at his desk, and I got within 2 feet and I knew something was horribly wrong, and I immediately started rendering first aid to Zach with CPR. And those moments I feel very haunted. No parent should have to see their child lifeless and initiate CPR to try to save them.
There was all these people in the driveway, and Chris, and our other 2 kids. And, you know, Chris just came up and said, our baby's gone.
The coroner told us that Zach either died from a natural cause or fentanyl.
We were like, what is that? I hadn't really ever heard of fentanyl.
What we have learned is Zach started to experiment. He purchased what he thought was a pharmaceutical grade Percocet. Instead, it was a counterfeit pill, and the only acting agent in it is fentanyl. And it was an extreme amount that was fatal.
We found out that it was through Snapchat that Zach had connected with this dealer and gotten the pill.
Social media is the #1 go-to platform for drug dealers.
They press it to look exactly like a Percocet, a Xanax, an Adderall, oxycodone. The level of fentanyl in each pill is completely inconsistent.
And it takes as little as 2 milligrams worth of fentanyl, or about the same amount as 2 grains of salt, to be lethal.
These pills are everywhere. In basically any pill that you get on the black market, you can be assured that it is one of these fake fentanyl pills.
None of Zach's friends were aware of the dangers that exist now from counterfeit pills.
None of us were. Fentanyl, it robs you of any chance to get red flags. I mean, he had no other pills in his room. He had no other anything in his room. With fentanyl, I mean, you can try a pill 1 time or 2 times, and it takes you out. If I had known about illicit fentanyl and how prolific it is, it would have caused me to have different conversations, with Zach.
It would have been a sit-down conversation as a concerned parent to say, hey, Zach, I just learned about this. Have you heard about this? Are you getting any kind of products on social media? Knowing Zach, he would have thought, okay, maybe that's playing Russian roulette.
We talked to Zach about every danger that we knew, but this one we didn't know. And that's why we have made it our mission, to join with other parents, to educate the community.
We want to bring to light the dangers and how pervasive it is. This can happen to any family.
Look at this place.
We can't ever bring Zach back, but it does help mitigate some of the pain, thinking that maybe we've saved other kids. Maybe Zach has saved other kids.
Yourself, just be wherever you are.